So I got my cell phone out, and I'm going to read you the email that the Stories Book and Cafe replied to Matt, my friend and my publisher of New Ritual Press. So this is what they wrote. Alright, so let me see. They said, okay, hi Matthew, thank you for reaching out. Unfortunately, we're so busy with events, I don't know that we can accommodate such a new small press. Best of luck to you both, Alexandra. What? What the heck? It was so bizarre at the time when I received all this information from Matt. I was at work, and I was just working and doing all sorts of things and working, and then I received a text message saying, oh boy, it's a lot. I guess his slight disappointment of it, but I guess in a way not surprising. And I want to read it to you because it was a very interesting. The whole conversation was very, very interesting of it all. But let me see. Very interesting conversation. Ain't that so? So. Well, let's see. Let's put it this way. He says, ugh, leaves a bad taste, and I don't blame him. Not in a rageful way, but we'll make sure they'll. Well, yeah, frankly, I don't believe them, but they can't accommodate us. Golly. And I know they do stuff with smaller people, and which is very interesting. They did the same thing with smaller presses, I guess. I guess this press was too very tiny for them. Too small, too tiny for them. And I don't know, they think they have all their dates blocked out. I think it's more like, we don't know who you are, forget you, which is of course within their rights, but doesn't exactly make me like them. And the whole, it goes on and on. So, that kind of stuff we've been dealing with. But, I'm trying to find a real spot, a nice solid spot to do the release launch party or whatever. The book launch party for Dingbats. Oh man, I tell you, my proposition, my idea for a launch party, a real nice fun launch party, I'm going to be frank with you. One, you got to have food. That's the most important thing. You got to have food. Secondly, you got to have drinks, soda, juices, water, probably beer if people are into that stuff. Beer. I don't see why not. Beer or wine or probably whiskey, maybe. Number 3, you gotta have games at the party. You gotta have games at the party. What kind of party is this if you don't have any games and prizes? Let's see. 4, the main one. You gotta have hospitality. You gotta be a good host, and you gotta be good to your guest, and you have to be respectful to your guest. Because believe you and me, I've been to a couple of these joints, a couple of these parties, a couple of these little events here and there, and let me tell you that the dignity, integrity, and the respect, and all these other things are lacking. It's lacking. Oh boy, I tell you, I went to this one joint. It was in Melrose, I reckon. somewhere in that Hollywood area, Melrose. I only went there because I knew this other person, Mitch Stevens. He was gonna be there, and so I went there just to see him. And I went with Matthew, my friend, my publisher. So I took the bus. I took the 9:50, 9:10 bus to get to the joint. And then I took another bus to finally get there. So I took two buses. I think it was the number. It's hard to tell which one, but if anything, it must have been the number 4. Probably. No, not the 16. It must have been the number 4. But I know I took two buses to get there. Anyway, when I got there, it was quite a sight, I tell you. What a joint. What a sight. The whole neighborhood. It was nice and all. Real. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, Lord. God almighty. Oh, man, I'm just moving around because I got my knees on the floor. I think I'll sit down on the chair, but I don't know. Maybe. Let me see. I got my knees on the floor. Hold on. Hold your horses. I'm on my knees. No, that's what she said. That's what she said. No. Anyway, now I'm sitting down. Okay. Oh boy, I'm just so tired, and I'm just. Anyway, where do I continue with this story? When I got there, golly, I went to this little cafe joint, and I asked this. I'm guessing the clerk. I asked the clerk, "Excuse me, Mister," or he was a gentleman, young man. "Excuse me, do you happen to know where your restroom is? Where's your restroom?" He's like, over there, I guess. All right, thank you. So I scurried to the restroom. And I ain't gonna tell you what I did there. It's none of your business, not anybody's business. But I did my business, and then I finished my business. I went out. I said thank you. Well, I guess this concludes my. I always say this concludes my conversation. But well, it was a pleasure acquainting with you. I see you round like a donut. All right, then, see you. And then I went on my way. And I tell you, I've been trying to look for the place. I didn't even know where this place was going to be held at. And what this place was a art show. What? An art show, an art gallery, a place where you put art in. Oh boy. Let me tell you that. I've been trying to look for the place. I've been like a madman. I was all dressed, nice and all with my, my button-up shirt, my dark blue slacks, my nice shoes, my black little jacket and stuff, my black jacket and stuff like that. My hair all slicked back, and I was wearing my sunglasses, my shades. Excuse me. And for the life of me, I couldn't find the place. I just walked back and forth like a madman. Everybody was walking back and front, oncoming and back from me, giving me all these looks like, what? What the heck? Who is this person, What is he doing here? Who are you? What are you doing here, Well, they didn't say it. In their minds, they was thinking it. Oh, in their minds. Anyway, eventually, I ended up at a little, I guess this was a bar, and a restaurant. For a restaurant, they didn't have menus, which was weird to me. No menus? What kind of joint is this that they don't have any menus? You know what I mean? What kind of joint is this that they don't got no menus? I mean, what they only showed me was, they gave me was a little cord. Wish I can. No. But it was a little card like this, but a little small. Let's get, there you go. A little small card like this. This size. And it had a little box in the middle. And an umbrella, a logo of an umbrella. And you have it, he says, you got to take a picture and it'll show it to you. It'll appear to you, apparently. So I took the picture. Click, click, I took the picture. And it turns out it was the menu. Ha ha. The menu? I remember I was calling Matt. We was calling. And it was funny. Him and I, we was calling on the phone because I told him, listen, Matt, I'm here in this little joint. I'm apparently, it had no title. It didn't have no title. Just a logo of an umbrella. So I'm guessing this is just the umbrella. But if you see a sign, like a little picture of an umbrella outside of their window, that's the place. I'm here. All right. And he said, they got a menu. Because I was telling, maybe we can eat here and stuff like that. Man. I'll wait for you here. Maybe we can eat here. And then I read them what they got. All right, let me read you what they got. I'm guessing the entree, it was about like the French fried potatoes were about, what, $11, $12? Okay, I'm just exaggerating there. Well, it couldn't have been 12, but probably, if I'll be frank, $6, $7. And then the burgers were about like 15, 14. The fried chicken. I think they had fried chicken, if I reckon. But I believe $16, $17. God. For fried chicken. The tacos were about 16, like 11, 12, 16, 18, $20. And all these different little tacos and steak, probably. I don't know if they. I'm sure they had steak or something. Not so far. I'm just perplexed because the whole thing was so perplexing. It was a perplexing menu. It sure was perplexing. Anyway, I'm like, gee whiz, God, what kind of place is this? I only mean $16 for this. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be eating here. All right then. Well, you just stay. You just stay there while I'll meet you, and I'll meet you there. I'll pick you up, and he was just getting off from work, and I'll pick you up, and I guess we can just walk around the mall because there was a mall over a little farther up in the area. There was a mall. We can walk around the mall and probably find us a nice little cafe joint to eat, and then we can go to Target and find you that computer. Oh yes, golly. I was looking for a computer, a laptop computer, because I don't have one. And I needed one to work and to type my stories and so on and so forth and this, that, or the other. I needed a computer to type my stories. And so we did that, and afterwards when we finish. What the heck am I talking about? I need to get to the gist about the little party, the little gallery, because I was talking about my idea of a lunch party and stuff like that. Let me get to the gist. All right then. So, getting there to the little party, the joint, or whatever, or the art show. It was a nice little thing. At first, I didn't even know. I couldn't even find the place because it looked like an apartment. Inside there was a building, and there was all these different little kind of like apartments and whatnot. So when you go inside, there's all these little kind of buildings here, and you can mistake them for apartments, but these are offices. I'm sure there's one little apartment there that somebody lives there. I'm sure of it. But when I went there, I just thought, is this the place? Where's the show? Then it turns out the show was upstairs, and it was open, and I see the lights and whatnot, and I thought it was an apartment. Somebody was living there. Went up there, and it turns out that was the show. I went inside the show, or the building, and there I go into the flat, and I'm greeted by these individuals, these people. This slender feller named Greg, I'm guessing the ringleader or the host of the art gallery. Greg, who looks a lot like Jake Fratzik. Oh, Greg, very nice to meet you, Greg. And then there was another guy who had a kind of a bunch of curly hair, afro. No, it wasn't afro, but he had a big head of hair. Then there was this big feller, and then there was another feller, this small feller. Then there was a skinny feller who, I'll be frank with you, related so much to Matthew. Those two, and I believe his name, if I'm not mistaken, James, but it could have been another name. Or Greg, James, Greg. It's been a while, so. Very nice to meet you. And then we was talking. I told him, you like Scooby-Doo, Jerry Springer? I love Jerry Springer, and he tells me about sports. He tells me about the sports show, this, that, or the other. He's very keen on the sports, which that's cool. That's fine with me. I'm here for the art show. If I want to talk about sports, we'd be at the bar. But we're not at the bar. So I don't want to hear about sports. I don't want to talk about sports. At the time, if I be talking about sports, I'd be at the guy just darn, I don't want to curse. But I'm going to have to. The goddamn pub. Excuse me for cursing. We'd be talking about sports and current events, but we're not talking about it here. We're not talking about it here now. We're at the party. We are at an art show gallery. I don't want to be talking about that stuff. Not right now. Anyway. Then this, that, and then another person introduced me. I introduced her, and they introduced me. Oh golly, I'm just putting my foot in my mouth. And what I can recall, these art pieces were just these little small square pieces, canvases, of all these little abstract pieces of art and all these things. And oh boy, I tell you, it was amazing. It was amazing, but at the time, I think I'd never seen such art that could be done so minimal and so small, which is kind of interesting. And a lot of it reminded me, some, I guess not all, but some of them reminded me of Clive Barker's Hellraiser. There's a word for it, transgressive. It was very transgressive. I really enjoyed this one art piece that reminded me of a candle. But what it is some kind of paintbrush, this long paintbrush, and wax melted around looking like some kind of horn or some kind of spike or a candle. You know, whatever the eye or the optic interprets. Excuse me. I'm also intense right here in the muscles. Excuse me. Oh man. But at the end it was nice, and up until the end I just didn't, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And God, when I say bad taste in my mouth, when I asked about water, I was parched and thirsty. Water. Can I have some water? I tell Greg. And I tell these other people, can I have some water, please? And they seem kind of confused, like, what is he talking about? Water? Water. What? We got water? Well, they didn't have any water, but they certainly did have a big tub of beer and more beer and probably some other hard liquor. And ice. There was lots of ice around it. And it was in the bathroom or some kind of closet. It was small, little crowded little room. You should have heard what he tell me. He tell me, well, we don't got no water here, but there's a CVS across the street. You can go down there and get some water. Because and there was a lady next to him, this woman with a checkered cape, and she tells me the same thing. There's a CVS down across the street, both of them. And I'll be frank with you. I can take a lot of SHIT from people, and I have. And this one kind of really just grind my gears a little. It just made me so mad. In my head, I was just like, what? Why you? I wanted to explode. But I didn't. I wanted to be respectful. I had to be respectful. Have my integrities, my dignities, and so on and so forth. So I said, you know what? Thank you very much. Thank you. I said, thank you so much. This was a very nice show. I enjoyed myself. Thank you. You know what? Because I said, what's your coordinator name, or whoever is in charge of this little art show? What's your I want to say manager. No, not manager. What's your just coordinator, whatever? He didn't tell me who it was, but you're whoever it is going to hear from me. That's all right, Greg. Thank you so much. But whoever it is, your supervisor's going to hear from me. And so I just went out the little apartment. I was just livid. I was just like, what the fuck? Oh my God. I was just so mad. Went down past Uriel and Gabe, who I met at other readings and other readings and other readings of Casual Encounters and Car Crash Collective. Oh boy, at this point they've become like recurring characters of a sitcom. Anyway, so I didn't went to the CVS joint, but I sure did went to back to that little umbrella joint that I was just so critical of. Talk about a 360 moment. I went to the place. I talked to the bouncer, the security guard, and this other lady with a black shirt and a little black hat, forgot her name. And I tell her, excuse me. and I was just so kind of like exhausted energetically and mentally, just and tired and thirsty. Like, God, it was a long day getting there. Excuse me, do you have some water? I'm just so parched and thirsty. I need to drink some water, please. Oh, where'd you come from? I just came from this little party over there. You know that little, there was a little art gallery down there, so it turns out they didn't have any water. Oh, okay, I'll get you some water. And Matt, he's been looking for me. He was looking for me where I went down. He's like, where are you? And stuff like that. And then he, all the way down, he come and found me at the umbrella. Anyway. And I told him, look, man, because I always make friends. I made a friend. I made another friend. This, I believe, I want to remember his name. It was James or Tom. I think it was Tom or James. I meet a lot of James. I meet a lot of James where I go to. And there's a lot of James. Anyway, all right. This another James. He's very nice. He's never been to Gardena. Oh golly, he drove by, but he's never been to. And then the other one says, I've been to there. It's quite nice there. I need to go back. And then we had a little conversation about Gardena, this, that, the other. They should go. They should come if they want to or not. This, that, the other. Up to them. And then afterwards, I left and I said, it was very nice to meet you, but I'll see you around like a donut. And off we went, I said. And we had a long conversation in the car about the party, this, that, the other. He recorded it, so I don't know when that one's going to be out. I'm sure it'll be out at some point. I'm sure it's going to be out at some point. Anyway. So, to come back, because this is 27 minutes in. Golly, I'm just talking. See, I was talking, and I'm not even talking about the launch party. So, for a launch party, I want just a big old celebration. Music, food, games, hospitality. I want all my contemporaries and my friends and my associates to be all in one together and just to enjoy and dance, because most of the time when I go to these launch parties or readings or little events and they got the piece of shit music playing on and on and on and on and on like some broken record, and I'm the one dancing to the song, to the music, going this, that, or the other, just moving around and just letting loose and going crazy. Not crazy, but you know what I mean. Letting loose. Ain't nobody doing shit, because they're most of the time they're doing. And then they're like, and they're like, but that's mostly. That's mostly what happens at these joints. They play the music, and most of them like zombies. Like, what? Open your mind. Wake up. Pay attention. Have fun. Let loose. Have fun. All they could do is, what is this? What is this? Friends? Where am I, France? Is this New York City? Have I gone to New York? What is this? France of all places? Ah, boy. And then I'd be dancing and moving and doing all sorts of things. And I'd be talking to people because ain't nobody want to be talking to me, approach me and talk to me. I just approach them, extend my hand and say, well, my name is Mr. Omar King, and it's a pleasure to meet you. It sure is a pleasure. And most of the time, I wouldn't say all the time, but sometimes, they be interested, or they're just like, okay, because like time, exhaustion. All right, okay. And then I'd be gone because I read between the lines, pay attention to the cues and this, that, the other. They ain't interested. They don't want to know about your shit. All they want is to be drinking and smoking and just get through the night. Ain't nobody want to know about your shit. And they're like, and I'll be okay. It sure was a pleasure meeting you. Excuse me. I guess I'll see you around like a donut. All right, see ya. Bye. Then I go on to the other. What? All of a sudden, this feels like speed dating in a way. It just feels like a long speed date. Oh boy. Oh. But that's pretty much it, I don't know when this launch party is going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. But when the book does come out, not as your dingbats, when it does come out, I might have like a little celebration, just like private celebration, like a little dinner with all my friends and associates all in together. I'm just trying to figure a place figure a place to eat, where to eat. And once I get that down, then I'll think about the lunch party. But right now I'm writing up an email to this guy named Nick from Mutual Records, and I'm basically giving him my proposition, my idea of what I want to do at this little building they got. And I won't tell you the street because I guess it's a Zippo. No, don't talk about it. Okay. So I'm writing that down and doing this 33 minute video, and I guess this concludes my conversation. Well, gentlemen, ladies and gents, I'll see y'all around like a donut, and be good, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and, if somebody piss you off, if somebody make you mad, just tell them, why don't you make a bridge and get over it? Or why don't you just make like a tree and leave? Things like that. Have a good old laugh. Anyway, see you around like a cookie. Ha 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 ha. All right.